Home-cooked diet versions of the prescription diets are often a small amount of protein, a ton of rice, and no veggies. Added vitamins and mineral balance it, but how can this truly be nutritionally balanced? If by eyeball what appears to be balanced is not, then what does that mean for long-term health? Looking at these photos, which represent the standard American lunch of sandwich and chips, steamed spinach and fish, rice and beans and vegetables, a good vegetarian meal, and then everyone's favorite breakfast of coffee and a muffin top. You can pick out the ones that are balanced and not balanced, but how do we estimate if our pets' diets are balanced in terms of the macronutrients they need? A quick review of nutrition. The big chunks are called macronutrients, and they are protein, fat, and carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are further broken down into simple carbs, which are sugar and high glycemic foods like bread, and then complex carbohydrates, which are usually vegetables and beans that contain high fiber content. Micronutrients are the details of the diet that either confer health or, if they are imbalanced or lacking, create health issues. So again, what's the current macro ratio recommended for dogs and cats? Before we get into that, let's try looking at these pictures once more and eyeballing what the MAC components are. Remember, carbohydrate is not separated out by simple or complex. So if we're looking at protein, fat, and carb percentages expressed in total percentage of the calories of the food, take a minute and kind of ballpark it, and then I'll do kind of the big reveal on the next slide. Hopefully it won't be too shocking. So in the sandwich meal pictured above, we've got 20% protein, 20% fat, and 60% carbohydrates. In the steamed fish and spinach, we've got 50% protein, 10% fat, and roughly 40% carbohydrate. In the beans and rice dish, we've got roughly 35% protein, 15%, and 50% carb. In the coffee and muffin picture, we've got roughly 5% protein, 30% fat, and 65% carbohydrate. Now my question to you is, are all these carbohydrates created equal? And you already know the answer. They're not. The 65% carbohydrate in that muffin is mostly sugar, versus the 50% of carbohydrate in the vegetarian dish is fibrous vegetables. This lets us remember that we're not comparing muffins to broccoli, and we need to be conscious of the actual food value in the carbohydrates. So here's the current macronutrient recommendation for humans, and you see that they've got a huge range. And so if we take a look at what sort of food we'd have to eat to get 1,600 calories of roughly a three-way split of protein, fat, and carb, what would that look like?